My first one, the girl just came and just put her tongue right in my mouth. I was like, oh, I was like,
Oh,
oh, didn't know what
oh.
was going on.
Yes, yes, another week, another Chatterbox. Dano the Dano. My name's Dan, and we got some of the team with us here today. We got North London's finest, the original, the one and only. It's the OG. Des, what's good, bro?
Yeah, oh, it's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Yes, man. Yes. And well, the ladies, they love some of that smooth Andre. Yeah, that smooth Andre. Yeah, come on, come on. I'm gonna make an intro for you, just for you, bro. Come on, man. So smooth, he's putting cocoa butter out of business. You know what it is. Don't know the don't know. Now this week we are reviewing. We're a little bit late on it. I know. Blame me. It's all good. It's Cobra Kai. We know most of you will have watched it by now, so don't forget there might be some spoilers in this episode. If you haven't watched it yet, then hit pause, open Netflix, watch the rest of Cobra Kai, and come back and watch this. And while you're there, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Download. There's a little bell next to it. If you hit that too, you'll also get a notification every time our videos go live. Now, 34 years after the events of 1984, where the All Valley Karate Tournament, a down-and-out Johnny Lawrence seeks redemption by reopening the infamous Cobra Kai Dojo, reigniting his rivalry with a now successful Daniel LaRusso. There's so much to go through with this series. I'm going to say a couple of words. You know the script, guys, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to your head about Cobra Kai. So first up, what did you think about the fight choreography?
I love karate, but this for me, it felt like a dancer, some kind of modern dancer had done the choreography for the fight scenes. I'm thinking, what? You know, people were fighting there. You could see the blatant misses, and I'm thinking, nah, this is not good. They didn't even give you the illusion of someone getting hit. There was no injuries, no blood.
Me, it was cheesy fun. It was the exact same as Karate Kid, because when I watched the Karate Kid, I was like, that ain't really great choreography. Like, so it's basically carrying on what the Karate Kid was doing. 1, 2, and 3, 4, I guess as well. But, you know, whatever.
What did you guys think about the music?
I was back in the 80s. I'm a 70s child, 80s child as well, man. So it just took me back into the 80s. My time, my era, especially episode 10, man. I could feel it coming in the air tonight. Boom, 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 boom.
Ready? Let's begin.
Oh, come on. Yes, yeah.
All right, so this one for me was a little bit awkward. That's the first thing that comes to mind for me. But the chemistry?
I was thinking about what chemistry. That was my thoughts anyway. And I think the chemistry had a lot to do with acting. What chemistry? What acting?
Man went straight to it. What are you saying, Dre?
In terms of the chemistry, I think there's great chemistry between Johnny and Daniel LaRusso. I think they carried the series through. Like, there's lots of other, but these two I enjoy, and it just brings me back to the Karate Kid. I enjoyed as well when Ali came back, and that chemistry with them as well.
What about the performances?
You know what? The performances vary. I like the adults. I like the wife. I think she's very funny, and she's a very natural actor. So I enjoyed her. I enjoyed Hawk. And so that's all I'm going to say about that.
Hawk's a different character, you know. Like, honestly, it takes a while to kind of vibe. I felt like it took a while. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, every time he comes on, I'm like, it's calm. All right, what did you guys think about the storyline?
But what I did like about it is I like the way they flipped the script. And like, Danny is now the rich guy when before he was kind of poor, and Johnny is now the poor guy when before he was rich.
Yeah, in season 3, I enjoyed it a lot. Was when Daniel LaRusso went to Okinawa. Yeah, when he goes anyway to where he went in Karate Kid 2 with Mr. Miyagi, and he met Chozan and Kumiko. Like, I think that was a good storyline. It had some flashbacks to Mr. Miyagi. It had a nice scene about talking to the dead and reading letters that Mr. Miyagi wrote to him. So I thought those scenes were beautiful. And it's a nostalgia thing for me with this. So all that stuff was good. And it was just good acting as well between all of them. And Chosen, the way they made his character, who was a one-note character villain, but then they switched it with that. So I enjoyed that.
This was a big one, episode 10. What's your thoughts?
This was a highlight for me. And the reason for that, there was a lot more fighting. I was thinking, they're building it up so it's going to be the end of the series and everything. And it's like, whoa, the end of the episode. And then there's a season 4. And I'm thinking, oh, come on, man. I've got to endure another season of this.
Wait, did you think a successful series was going to stop there? That's making money. Did you think that would be the end? It would never be the end.
Never. They're going to come again and again.
I enjoyed episode 10. I like the scene in the house, the fight and the camera work. I did enjoy that a lot. I enjoyed the fight at the end between Daniel LaRusso, Johnny, and Kreese. Yeah, him. Like I enjoyed all that freeway fight and all that. It was a good finale, and it was a good setup as well for season 4. Because them now stop. Yeah.
She cheating.
Bro, hey, if it's a brand and the brand is making you peas, then you want them peas to keep rolling, right? I think that's what they're thinking. And at the end of the day, Karate Kid, no matter what, it's a timeless movie, or the movies are timeless, the originals, not the Jaden Smith one. And it's a come on, we've had this conversation before. We all know. but you
also got to know that Will Smith, he was one of the producers as well.
True. He's making money right there. So, I didn't mention Will. I mentioned Jaden. Anyway, we've had a lot more returning characters in this season. Why do you think they keep bringing back these characters from the original trilogy?
Because for me anyway, personally, that's the only way you're going to get me to watch it, for nostalgia, for the Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3 that I loved watching, and I want to see those characters come back. And I'll see what they're doing now and how different they are. So it was just good to see those characters come back. It was great when Ali came back, like Elizabeth Shue, who still looks good, man. Johnny, their chemistry was great because they didn't have much scenes together in actually Karate Kid. But this, good chemistry, and so I enjoyed the nostalgia of it.
And that's why they came back, because that was the hook. We've seen it in the past. Now, let's hook them again. And now let's hook their kids. You know what I mean? I watched it because I've seen Karate Kid 1, 2, 3. I've seen the trilogy. I'm going to carry on watching it based on just that. Purely, yes, I want to see how the characters are evolved.
It must have been such a blast on the set. Kind of reminds me of when the Fresh Prince crew all came together. You know what I mean? It's like something that people cherish, which is the Karate Kid trilogy. All those people coming back together, such a vibe. I'm sure there's a lot of behind the scenes content that will come out that we definitely want to see from this. Now, 34 years ago, that's a long time, man. Do you know how old Ralph Macchio is now?
He's like 60 or something there. He's about 60 or something.
Macchio is 59. Do you know how much William Zabka is?
Oh, man. My age?
No, he's older than you, B. He's 55. How long do you think it'll go on for? These guys are aging. They might not want to be acting for long. Would you watch a spin-off series with just the younger characters? Do you think they've built the younger characters up enough to have that legacy to go on and do more?
I see it going up to season 6. I know I was saying money, they're making money, so they'll keep on going. But I do think there's a time where they're like, right, it's enough now. Because you have to spend money as well. So I think they always balance it out. In terms of a spin-off, I wouldn't be interested really. Maybe Hawk. But other than that, I wouldn't really be interested in the spin-off, to be honest.
Another character that I think they definitely should have had a lot more of is Daniel's son's son. In the first season, he was hilarious. He was brilliant. Do you remember him?
Yeah. He had his one-liners, boy.
You guys got any ketchup?
Yeah. Get it yourself. Douchebag.
Yeah, they could have built.
That's a point, That's a point.
Boy, I tell you,
the fans didn't like him. They don't like him. Apparently, I see lots of comments saying, "Yeah, we don't need him back."
Right? Do you know what? That's interesting saying about the fans, because there's a lot of comment and talk on message boards, Twitter, wherever it is that you look on Reddit, saying that there's a lack of consequences or discipline. You know, there's been school brawls, broken arms, attempted murder. You know, like, is it a fair criticism? Would you say that they need to add a bit of reality of discipline into the series?
There was some consequences in relation to the school fight because one had to go on probation. Was his name had to go to juvenile prison.
Yep.
So there were consequences there. But the thing is, he did run away from the crime, and the fact is, nobody even bothered looking for him. But check this: if it was Miguel that had broken his arm, they would have just catch him, fling him in prison because he's Mexican, fling him in prison, go and lick down the door, take his mum, take his grandmother back to Mexico because they got no papers and shit. You know what I mean? So come
This
on.
is America.
This is America.
That's very little consequences. There was 2 people got consequences out of a lot of people in the school that were fighting. There was a brawl in the school, like people were fighting. Someone punched the teacher, like, and 2 people got in trouble. Like, there was really any consequences. Hawk broke the guy's arms. Nothing happened about that.
Code of honor.
Like, it's hilarious, but I like it, but there's very rarely any consequences. Really, if a little bit, but really any.
Yeah, if it was black kids, it would have been consequences, man. Serious. I ain't joking there at all. What film is there where there's young people again doing these particular things, getting into trouble, doing these outrageous things, and there's been consequences?
I can name you films with kids having consequences, but generally they don't do outrageous things. They're just living. It's called films with black kids in.
Oh yeah, I hear that. But just in
I
general,
would really compare because this type of show is a fantasy type show, it's like 80s type show, which is very you know.
I think we don't really have anything like what Cobra Kai is trying to be on TV or a lot of it nowadays, especially with the amount of money behind it.
80s magic.
Trust me, man. Now, talking about the 80s, here's a real flashback was with John Kreese's time in Vietnam. Throughout the season, we kept getting those flashbacks. Did it make you sympathize with him or at least understand him a little bit better? I see older Kreese and I'm like, I don't like you. And I see younger Kreese and I'm like, oh man, you trying to do the right thing, bro. What did you guys think?
I hear what you're saying. Kreese, when he was working in the diner, he was all right. Well, the clip of him that I remember anyway. But I'm looking back at his character, and this guy had issues, man. And I think he found it difficult to manage particular situations. And when he went into the army, everything just kind of like was combat. And especially when his girlfriend died and no one told him, it's like no one was really there for him. He had to learn how to manipulate people in order to get what he wanted. And I reckon when he was in the army, his personality was molded and he became the person who he just turned out. He was just a horrible person. But then looking back at his life about his mom committing suicide, and no one was really there for him. He had nobody around him. And so all he had to do is put himself into these particular situations and deal with them the best way he could. Usually when you come out of, after you fought in a war, and you come out, they talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, or clearly there was no support for him outside. He just went back outside into this world. I'm even surprised to find out how he survived with his kind of emotions, his kind of just attitude. If you got no one around you as such, and you think you could just go and take over anybody and become that bully, because he was always bullied as well in the past. If you're going to come out and just bully people, man, somebody's going to take you out. But for some reason, his character just survived and kept surviving and kept surviving. And no, I don't feel sorry for him. I think he was a nasty piece of work, and he carried on being a nasty piece of work, man. And I actually hated him. His face, he had the face that you don't like. Only your mother would love, man. His face.
What do you say, Dre?
It was good to see the flashbacks. It was good to see different dimensions of him there. I think it was more of an understanding of the character, which what they were trying to do. I think they should have done a bit more with that. I could have done with a bit more, to be honest. I don't think they've done enough. But it was good to see what they did do. But it just made it, it made you understand him, but it doesn't mean you sympathize with him. He's still a horrible, horrible human being now, no matter what happened to him in the past.
Now, we had some setup for season 4 with the tournament and Kreese making a phone call. Could it be Terry Silver from Karate Kid 3? And what other characters do you guys think we might see, or who would you like to see?
I want this shit to be over. So just we need to bring in people that's going to just annihilate Karate Kid, man. Once they bring him back in, game over. That's the end of Karate Kid. Yes.
I definitely think it is Terry Silver. He called, like, Terry Silver. He basically, in the Karate Kid 3, he says he owes Kreese, like he owes Kreese for what he did in Vietnam. So that's who he's calling. He's gonna come back and they're gonna set up that. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one because I did like his character, man. So cheesy, so bad. Like, I really love that character, and I hope they bring back the bad boy of karate in Karate Kid 3. The young, what was his name? Mike Barnes. Like, I would like to see him come back because I like the actor. So that would be fun to see.
I would prefer if season 4 they really built up some of the younger actors or younger characters and started to make some like kind of legends out of them, so that in 34 years, people who are young now watching Karate or Cobra Kai, they'll have something to reinvigorate.
Well, they're going to do
nostalgia.
Season 4, they're going to be doing a tournament, so we'll see.
I hope they have lights and lasers and smoke machines and dancers and cheerleaders and everything. I hope it's a madness. Now, listen, I've chatted enough here today, boys. You know what it is. You know why people tune in. It's to see the ladies. It's to hear the rating. They want to know what the numbers is. How many stars out of 5 is Cobra Kai season 3 getting from the man them?
I watched it, I cringed, I laughed, I was like, yeah! I was happy, I was sad. I'm giving it a 3.
I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Like, it was cheesy fun, like I said. It brought me back to the 80s, like watching those movies.
Oh, do we not do half stars? Is that a rule?
Well, it ain't a rule, but hey.
So I'm giving it 3 or 4 stars. It's one of them, yeah. People, like, let me know in the comments what you're saying in it. But anyway, I've ranted on long enough. I want to hear what the people have got to say. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know. Was it good? Was it bad? Like I said before, subscribe. I want 10,000 subscribers by the end of January. What are you saying, boys?
Yay!
I know. 10 million likes. You know what it is. Hit us up on the socials. Big up the man them for coming through. Obviously, it's the ladies' love. It's Andre. Hey! North London's finest. The original, the OG, the one and only. Yes, it's Des. Yeah, man. Come on. Big up. Peace, love. We'll see you guys next time. It's Chatterbox.
Come on. How can a friend break another guy's arm and then 20 minutes later they're friends again? I'll have to block his foot or some. The other part as well with the plaster cast when he drew the dick on it, innit?
Oh yeah.
And the girl goes, yeah, don't worry. And she wrote on it, man. Yeah, I thought that was classic. That was nice.
The way them two started linking as well, you know. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what that reminded me a little bit of? You know, in Buffy, Cordelia. You remember when Cordelia started lip-syncing up with Buffy's male best friend, Xander? That's what it reminded me of. The whole like, we ain't seen each other. Yeah.
Do
you remember them days in school where you didn't really know how you were kissing, but you were still kissing? You could get bad dry lip, like, yeah, man's calm, innit?
My first one, the girl just came and just put her tongue right in my mouth. I was like, didn't know what was going on.
Thanks for letting me know what you had for breakfast, boo.
Oh, man.